Hello Internet, and welcome to my first longer YouTube video. Today I will be upgrading my 2019 Trek Madone from mechanical Ultegra to Shimano Ultegra Di2. Stick along for the ride. So I've got all of this as a birthday present to myself, because the day I'm filming it is actually my 32nd birthday, so I guess happy birthday me. So let me run you through what I bought in order to do this upgrade. So I got the two shifters, left and right. I got the Di2 battery, front derailleur, rear Di2 derailleur, a junction box in the middle, and a bar and junction box, and a bunch of cables to connect everything up. All the other tools I need for this upgrade are things I already had in-house from a similar project from my Specialized Roubaix. So let's get cracking. Now first off, I will be removing the shifting components from the existing group set. To do that, first I will remove the chain, this to release the tension from the rear derailleur. After that I will be removing the bartape. That way I will get easy access to the cables running into both shifters. After removing those cables, I will hold on to the hydraulic brake lines from the shifters to my disc rotors. And I will be removing the shift cables. Once I removed those cables from the shifters, I'll be able to just pull out the derailleurs with the cables still attached. So I've actually run into a hiccup now. What makes this bike special compared to other bikes is here on the bolt cage on the down tube, there's a so-called control center. It'll be featured later in the video because I will need to make some changes there to install the i2. But this control center is keeping the gear cables under tension, which makes it very difficult to remove the shifters without removing the bolt cage and the control center there. But I'll need to look into that first now. So I'm about to take the left shifter off, and I almost forgot to mark the exact position of the shifter on the handlebar. And that's actually one of the elements of a bike fit. So now I've removed both the derailleurs and both the shifters, so I'm almost done removing the parts of the old group set and almost ready to start installing a new group set. However, the last bit that is still left from the mechanical shifting are some of these cable guides. They're currently running from the down tube where the control center is, through the down tube, through the headset, through the stem, through the handlebars. So I will need to start disassembling like my stem and headset in order to get access to the last bits of these cable guides that I want to take out. Once I've done that, I can install the new shifters and start running the cables that will need to run through the handlebar and through the headset down to the down tube. And then I can install like the control center, and the battery needs to go in there, and the junction box. So yeah, big step ahead of us. Not gonna lie, getting these two mother things out was way harder than I thought, and I had to disassemble the headset a lot further than I thought. But hey, these two are finally out, so I can finally start the assembly process. And for that, especially with the carbon fiber bike like this one, it is of the utmost importance that you can tighten the bolts to the manufacturer's specification. And for that I have a torque wrench. I would not recommend doing any work anywhere close to this without a torque wrench. So now that this assembly is finally complete, I can finally start assembling and putting the Di2 components on the bike and in the bike. It is really important to stress the following: read the manual. Last time I did a similar job on a different bike, I checked the manuals of the Di2 components thoroughly, but I failed to do so on the manual of the bike, and I missed a few like tips and tricks, or like it's better to do it in this order. So this time I'm definitely not making that mistake again, and I can really recommend read through that manual 5 times before you even buy the components, and make sure that you have everything, or also everything like bike specific. The case of this specific bike, the manual says to first bolt on the derailleurs, not tight, just put them on. Then route all the wires through the frame, attach the battery and the junction box to the control center, wire all the cables through the headset and through the handlebars, and only in the very last moment install the shifters to the handlebars. So I guess that's what I'll be doing in the next few hours. See you in a bit. So I've installed both the derailleurs, and it's finally time to start routing cables through the frame and connect things up. And for that I have the Park Tool internal cable routing kit, which comes with a very strong magnet, and this cable, which on one side has a magnet, and on the other side has an end that I can connect the Di2 cable to. So this way I can use the strong magnet to pull this side through the frame, attach the other side to the Di2 cable, and then pull the blue cable through the frame, and that will pull the Di2 cable in the way I want it to go through the frame. It will pull that through the frame, so you'll be seeing me playing around with these two in the next bit. two cables from the derailleurs to the junction box. The junction box isn't there yet, but you can see with the green electrical tape where they'll go. This is the part where I'll be making sure that my bike stays water and dust proof by installing little rubber grommets. These are frame specific. So I sourced them through the Trek website. I'll put the link in the description where to find it on the Trek website if you also have a Trek Madone. If you have another bike, be sure to find grommets that are specific to yours. With most bikes, the Di2 cables also come out of the frame somewhere around the headset. So usually you need 4 grommets. Fortunately I don't, since they all run internally through the headset and through the stem and handlebars. Okay, so now I've connected a few more wires and it's time to get to the control center, which is bespoke to the Trek Madone. Apparently you zip tie the Di2 battery to it, and then the junction box just floats around. So I'll connect the 4 wires up to the junction box. Alright, so 45 minutes later, the Di2 parts, the gear mechanism is working. So let me quickly demonstrate. Up and down for the front derailleur, and up and down for the rear derailleur. So that's also working. So all that's left now is I need to connect the hydraulic brake hoses and fill up the hydraulic lines. After that, I need to add the bar tape again and connect the handlebar up. Really important that the handlebar isn't like if I shouldn't going on the road like that. That would be hilarious and unsafe. Don't do that. I need to add the chain, and then it's just indexing, and I'm done. Yeah, well, sounds easy now. See you in 45 minutes. Okay, so that only took me half an hour. Disc brakes are notorious for getting the air out of the hydraulic lines is quite difficult, and the reservoir is quite difficult. So fortunately I managed to get enough air out to max out my braking power if I fully slam the brakes. So I think this is safe. I'm confident riding this now in the current state. It's still a bit spongy. So what I like to do in this situation is take it for a few rides, especially because I live in London. The road surface is like terrible quality everywhere. There's plenty of road buzz, and I find if I do like 100-200k in this situation, and then do this filling up of the hydraulic brake lines again, that I get a lot of air out, which is a lot of air that is very difficult to remove now will be a lot easier if I take it for 200k rides. But I only trust myself to do that if I can max out my braking power. So I do want to stress, don't do this with brakes that don't have enough braking power. What I have left, so it is the bar tape, installing the chain, that should only take a minute or so, and then indexing the gears. That might be a bit of a hassle. Thanks for sitting through all of that. You made the end of my first long YouTube video. I installed the i2 on my 2019 Trek Madone. A few finishing comments. Before you've all pointed out in the comments, I do realize now that the yellow of my bar tape is a slightly different yellow from my bike. Also, I don't quite like the feel of the bar tape. One other remark of why I bothered to get a mechanical Ultegra bike and then retrofit it with the i2 is that, funny enough, when I bought it in 2019, it was cheaper to buy the Madone SLR6 and to buy all the i2 components on top of that than it was to buy the SLR7, which is the Madone that comes with the i2 pre-installed. So it's cheaper, and you still have the mechanical Ultegra shifters and derailleurs that I can now sell aftermarkets to make some of the money back. Yeah, I now have to go out on the road and enjoy this bike. Thanks for sitting through all of this. I know that the audio and video quality can be better. I filmed this just with my phone and my cheapish webcam because this is the first of these kind I'm making. If this video does well, I will definitely get dedicated recording hardware to make better YouTube videos. So if you think I should, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If you do have any questions specific about the Trek Madone and or the i2 upgrade, please drop them down in the comments. I'd be happy to take a look. Hopefully I can help you, and hopefully I will enjoy this bike even more now that I've installed the i2 on it. So thank you for watching me spend more than an entire day on installing the i2 on my Trek Madone. That was good fun. Hope you enjoyed it as well, and hopefully see you in my next video. Oh yeah, it's really important to read. I know. Yeah.